Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy! Alright folks, here we are on Monday, April 22nd. We're going to take a look at UPS today. So with earnings coming up, I thought we'd come and see where it might hit some support or resistance based off of earnings. And of course, if it moves sideways, where it might sort of pin itself to if it does that. Now, first things first, of note, there is this downtrend resistance that I have here. You could also place it back up here. That felt a bit more aggressive to me, so I'm going with kind of the more conservative trend line. It did recently try to break through it as well, but hit clear resistance on a double top here at that 158.54 level, and has since come down and settled at this 141.86 level, again back under the downtrend resistance. So if it does get a little jumpy, if it does get a little push upward, I'll be most interested to see what it does with this level, and if it does break through it, if it can get some clear distance. Something really interesting would see, if it came up to test 158.54 again, because, it was testing it back here. It double topped on it here, and then it put in a slightly lower double top, but still in the same range of level. And so I'm wondering if it does step itself back up there again or jump back up there again, are the sellers going to show up to push it off again? I don't know. It's similarly to how we often wonder if it tests a support level too many times. At what point are the buyers not going to show up and there's going to be a capitulation sell-off? Similarly to the upside, if it does push that 158.54, are the sellers still there? Because this is a lot of selling to already have happened in a relatively short period of time, say from about the beginning of the year. So that could be quite interesting to allow it to get some distance from this downtrend resistance and maybe leave that trend line behind in and of itself. Now, if it does move relatively sideways, again, this nearest in support level I have is 141.86. So if it kind of bats itself between 141 and the downtrend resistance, which is, in the recent days, it's going to be about 150-ish. That might be what a relatively sideways reaction looks like. Oh, ding, ding, ding. Closing bell. And if it does get dippier, if it does fall below 141.86, I have 129.90 here on the chart. No, I don't think I went lower. Oh, I do have something else there. I have a 120.06, it looks like. If we scroll back here a little bit, we can see, okay, 120.06, and then if it just continues to get additionally dippy in the coming days or weeks, 106.85. So I plotted a big course here, basically like $90, 106 to 196. So pretty big range, but the levels were there, so I grabbed them. Now, we've already spoken about this 158.54. If it gets jumpy above that, 172.01, 180. 53, 189.60, and then you see there that 196.54 if it has a continued push over a period of time. Now on the think or swim side of things, we had a trigger and fire back here, and that set off this big push down that was off of, I believe, last earnings. And so it was a nice call out there by the TTM squeeze indicator while the price was sort of wrestling with the mid-range of the channel, triggering, and then it fired right off of earnings. We don't have that same thing happening right now, but we do have a recent push out of the lower bound of the channel, quick recovery to the mid-range of the channel. So the bulls weren't really having that dip, but then it wasn't able to hold the mid-range, and so the bears sort of clawed back into position, pushed it back down to the lower bound of the channel. It wasn't able to hold anything through the lower bound, but right now is sort of trying to curl back toward the mid-range again. That mid-range right now is situated at 147.14. So we'll see if it sort of has some interplay with the mid-range of the channel off of earnings, that being an all-important position for confirmation or for reversal. 140.94 is the lower bound of the channel if it does come down and tries to get some support off of there, and then 153.34 is the upper bound of the channel if it does push up but hits resistance like we saw up here on the upper bound of the channel. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.